It's KCW. You know how we do, baby. I'm back with another fantasy video. Yo, man. What's it? I was gone for a bit. Um, partially due to I'll say it's personal. That's pretty much it. But like we back, and this year I wanna I'm not gonna say I'm gonna do an extensive coverage on the playoffs, but I'm definitely gonna try and do like a, let's say, midweek end week review of what's going on in the playoffs because I deem it essential to understand what's going on, and it's the playoffs, and I'm trying to say, for this setup, I kind of want to change it next year. I don't know if I would want to do it like this again next year, if that makes sense. Not that I'm not having fun. It's just I kind of just want to what I'm trying to say. Because my idea is like if I have like someone with me, it's like I feel like one, it's more entertaining. Two, it's more fun. Three, you have two different perspectives on this thing. You know what I'm trying to say, and it's not just solely my perspective. So I feel like it will be better content in general. So I feel like next year I might just literally just scratch my whole channel and just literally just dedicate a channel to fantasy, like literally. And I'll probably just um get me and Chris do it, or have a team where it's like me, Chris. I know David was on the video. I see if Daniel's interested to come on every once in a while. I see if Larry's interested, and then even though Charlie's in BC, I'll see if he's interested in getting some Zoom calls. Cause I feel like if I just scrap my whole channel, just dedicate it to fantasy, like we're also like heavily invested in it, right? So we just create a team, and then if we could just I know we each pay $200, right? But if we can just have a vision where it's like, oh, we can try and monetize it, like what I'm trying to say, do like multifaceted. I feel like we could generate some sort of dividends from it, if that makes sense. And I feel like it'll be funner experience for everyone. You know what I'm trying to say? Because it's like for 21 weeks, regular season is 21 weeks. Then playoffs is about 3 weeks, right? You have the first round, second round, finals. So that's about 24, 25 weeks of us. That's like half the year, pretty much. And it's just like we're so passionate about it. Well, I know I'm passionate about it. I know Chris is. I know a lot of the guys are very passionate about it. So I feel like why not, like, what I'm trying to say, just put a little bit of effort. Like that's how like other people do stuff in this world. It's like, oh yo, we're doing this. Let's just put like 20 more percent into it and then see what happens type of energy. So I think that's where my head is at, because I feel like for this is like I'm just like on cruise control in a sense where it's like I'm just doing it for fun type of energy, right? But in my head I'm just like, why not have a co-host, or like we both host and we all equal, and it's like we have like a whole setup and thing, because it's just like for me as I am, I'm done talking, man. I'm done talking. I've like I used to talk a lot, but I feel like over these last couple of months, I feel like life just changes you, and I feel like life is just changing me, because the more I talk to people, the less I want to talk to people, right? But yo, episode 2 of Why the Earth is Flat. If you have a compass, right, and the Earth is this real globe, and we're standing on land, right? North is north, and north is always has to be true to north, because north the North Pole, etc., etc. If you know, you know. If you don't know, you're excused out of this conversation. If the Earth is flat, right, where is north on the other side? Comment down below the answer to that question. But yo, let's get right into it. You know what I'm trying to say? Um, let's go back. Let's go back. Yeah. So last week I lost Chris. Let's go back. I think it's been that long. Yeah. So I beat Glory light work. Um, Charlie beat Mariano, which was it was light work, because he's what, almost 20 on the blocks. The steals, that's 5-4, 20 assists. Like, yeah, that's pretty much light. David did what David does, like team out. Like then again, Frankie's team. The thing about Frankie's team was it was never a question was it good. It was never a question of was it good. I mean, I think at first we said his team wasn't that good, right? And it has been proven true why his team isn't that good, right? And I'm just gonna say it. Your Chris made a perfect quotation. The best play. I'm gonna say it wrong, right? But he said the best players are the most available players, meaning that if you draft a team that is always injured, right? That player, first of all, is not the best player, and that team is not a really good team. So when people hit us with, oh, if my team wasn't injured, my team is injured, so that's why I'm not winning. If I didn't have these people injured, my record would be X, Y, Z. Part of drafting is doing research. In Football Manager, when you play Football Manager, when you want to sign a player, you literally look at his injuries. You look at what injuries does he have. If someone is consistently getting knee injuries, you are not going to buy that player. And if you do buy that player, you're going to lowball for that player. Why? Because someone that gets reoccurring knee injuries is going to keep getting reoccurring injuries, and that knee injury is going to turn into an ankle hip injury or eventually a hip injury. So if you're drafting players that are consistently injured and don't consistently play back to backs, it's your team, and that's you. That's you. That's you, man. But I rest my case. Chris and Daniel. Whoa, they drew. I didn't know that they drew. Daniel's completely changed his team, right? And that's why I wanna like bring more people on because it's like when we look back to week one, right? Let's just quickly go all the way back to week one, right? Let me show you Daniel's team right now. And this is what I'm trying to say where it's like see everyone in this world wants to be gay, yeah. And I'm not trying to be gay. I'm trying to go to heaven. I'm not the most perfect person. I am far from where I want to be and far from the human I want to be. But one thing about me is just that I don't want to be gay and I don't want to live that life where I hide or I don't say the truth because people are not gonna like it. Yeah. Daniel's team when he first off his team was it just wasn't it. It just wasn't it. Right? So this is his team now, right? But the thing about his team when he first drafted it, right? His team was good. I think he had LeBron, Paul George, da 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 da. So this is his team now, right? And I hope we could take a mental screenshot. He had Giddy, Collins, Buddy, Garrett. Let me take a photo, right? Because and I want to show you his team in week one, man. Because like for me, you just like some things in this world, yeah, it's like here we go again. Dang, fantasy started in October, it's March. So yeah, this is what it is, right? He beat me week one. Who did I have week one? Like, I don't remember the team I had in week one. All I know is that I had Ice Trader Gang. I just know I had Ice Trader Gang. I came up with a new philosophy, and honestly, at the end of fantasy, if people are gonna ask me about the philosophy I had at the beginning, I will tell you this, yeah. That philosophy was wrong. The way I drafted it at the beginning was absolute nonsense. It was nonsense. Like Ben Simmons was rubbish. He still is rubbish. Like he had the thing about Ben Simmons, he had okay weeks, right? But he never went above okay. So this pick right here, horrendous. Big Ben failed me. Christian Wood. Christian Wood is all right. He's like B C plus, right? Zach Collins, I think one of the last picks. Kate Cunningham, I traded him. Mason Plumlee. Now that I think about it, I should have kept him because he did have a really good stretch, and Charlie picked him up. Bojan has now been rested for the rest of the season. Looking back at it, Trey Young and Kyrie, I should have just kept them, man. I should have just kept them. The reason why I love Trey Young so much is because I like what he does for me as a point guard. As a point guard, like he doesn't really get me steals or blocks, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with my point guard not doing that. But the reason why I love Trey Young is because he does get me a respectable free throw percentage. Like it's really, really high. He does shoot the free, and he's one of the point guards that get you those assist numbers. And I feel like it's Trey Young, James Harden, oh, LaMelo when he's healthy. Who else is there? West. I have to put Westbrook there when he's playing really well, but he kind of fell off a little bit. Chris Paul when he's healthy too. Those are the point guards that I feel like I'm missing some, but it's okay. That get you those 10 plus. Halliburton, my bad. Yeah, that's it. Halliburton. Those are the guys that get you those 10 plus assist numbers consistently. So it's like, and Trey Young scores a fair bit. So it's like when people say, "Oh, Trey Young isn't a good first round pick." Is he a first round pick? I don't know, but he's definitely a second round pick because it's like Halliburton. The reason why David loves Halliburton is because he's one of the few point guards that are gonna shoot well free throw line, get you those assist numbers. He may not score that much, but he plays a lot of the games, and that's what Trey Young does as well. So it's like, would I trade? I love my Trey Young, man. I shouldn't have traded Kyrie Irving. That was a mistake. But this was my team, bro. This was my team. I actually my draft was horrendous. It was absolute crap. But here's Daniel's team. You know what I mean? Does he have some of the guys now? Yes. But are most of these guys gone? A sure thing. Yes, they are. And I'm trying to say, and that's what you call what is it called? Evolution, or what do they call it? Adaptation. You know what I'm trying to say? Where his team has evolved, right? A lot of people's teams have not evolved, right? So I asked Frankie this question. Like I think it was privately. Like, why didn't you make any trades? And he gave me like a nice, respectable answer. Nice, respectable answer. It's a simple question. Why don't you make trades? 'Cause at the end of the day, yeah. What? Like, look at Chris's team. Chris, I don't think he has Simmons right now. He doesn't have Herbert. He still has this guy. He still has this guy. I don't think he. I think he has Conley. I don't know. He doesn't have CD. He has Kawhi. He doesn't have Val. He doesn't have like. He doesn't have Halliburton. And this is the guy that's number one seed. So it's like. So it's like this, right? My job is like I'm on this thing here. My job is partially I'm pretty much a journalist for this like fantasy. Where it's like I ask questions, I talk my rubbish inside the chat, and then when I talk my rubbish inside the chat, I come on here and talk more rubbish. You know what I'm trying to say? Like that's pretty much my assignment. So it's like the only way I can fulfill that in its truest form is if I ask questions that people don't like. It's and if I try and get to know people and like check out their tendencies. Frankie hasn't made a trade, right? So this week, yeah, this is what. So right now, this we have one more matchup and then there's playoffs. I'm playing against Malik. I am going to lose because I forgot to put my players on for one game day. But the thing is, yeah, I'm looking at all of this thing and I'm asking myself, Malik, what's Wagwan? Because I can still win in blocks, possibly. It's not a for sure thing. I can still catch up in double doubles. It's not a for sure thing. And the 3 pointers are not very far away. They're not far away. And his free throw numbers, like, let me see something. Where's his team? He usually averages 77.3. So his free throw numbers are right now. What am I doing? Right now, his free throw numbers are out the moon, so they could still come down. And I left my players off for one day. If I put them on, this wouldn't be looking like that. So it's like for me, it's like I know this matchup is done. I should not win, and I pray for Malik's sake that I don't win, because if I win this matchup, he has to give me his team because I officially own him and his team. I own this brand of EDM Mafia, right? So you have team out versus honestly never mind. So these guys are both fighting for the playoff spot, right? They're both fighting for the playoff spot. Two guys that haven't traded at all, right? They haven't traded for whatever. I know why Frankie hasn't traded. Understandable. You know what I'm trying to say? Do I agree with it? Hell no. But is it understandable? Yes. At least he has a reason. At least he has a reason. That's it. That's it. That's it. And honestly, Frankie should win it because Mariano's team is officially dead. Because but the thing is, I want Mariano to make playoffs. I want him to make playoffs now because I want him to make playoffs as the number 8 seed or whatever seed it is, right, and be a bye week for someone. I want him to make playoffs, right, because at the end of the day, it's like, is his team like the thing is that no one's saying. I'm not saying his team isn't good. I'm not saying his team isn't good. His team has proven me wrong, but they have not proven me wrong. Because at the end of the day, like if I'm looking at Chris's quote, said the best players are the most available players, right? The difference between the best players are the most available players, right? So Karl Anthony Towns has been out for I don't know how long, but he's still on your bench. KD's done for the rest of the season, but he's still here. We don't know why. And you went from being like number 2 in the East to fifth out of, number 2 in the West to fifth out of 6 of the West, right? So is your team good? No, it's not. Your team isn't good. But am I saying my team is good? No. But do I believe my team is good? Yes. But based off on the power rankings and everything, is your team good? No. David wants to play you. Chris wants to play you. Charlie would love to play you. So is your team good? No. That's it. That's literally it. That's it. Team's not good. Because at the end of the day, like you have Jalen Brunson, right? Who's averaging 23, 0.9, 6. That's great. That's okay. Baines 21. Rozier 21, right? But it's like you're not gonna compete with a Jokic and a Sabonis. You're not gonna compete with an Embiid and a Stephen Curry. You're just not. You know what I'm trying to say? So like, based on the records, everyone's known it from the beginning that Chris, David, and Charlie's team have been head and shoulders and possibly knees and toes above everyone else's team. And the reason why you have guys like me, Daniel, trading, and even Malik trading so much is because we are trying to catch up to the head, shoulders, knees, and toes, right? So it's like, kill us if we do, kill us if we don't type of energy. You get what I'm trying to say? Kill us if we do, kill us if we don't. But I'd rather get killed doing than getting killed just chilling. You know what I'm trying to say? But that's just my philosophies. You get me? David's gonna win. Larry, I say this about Larry all the time, yeah. And this is my biggest beef with Larry in fantasy. Is that he makes one move and then he thinks that's enough. And then his team that is meant to be good and should be good and should always stay in the competitive spirit falls down because of him. Like, and he knows it too. He knows it too. He knows that, and that's what literally does my head in about Larry is that his team could easily be good. His team can easily be competitive. He can easily be in the top thing consistently. It's just that he when he wants to wake up, he wakes up. When he doesn't want to wake up, he doesn't want to make up. Like this is a guy, yeah, who started 0-3, 0-4 with me, right? We both started in that, right? And then now he's making playoffs for sure, right? But how did he do that? His team was rubbish and he had to make moves. He had to make moves, right? But now his team has gone down again. Why? Because he's neglected his team. Like he literally neglected his team, right? So, sorry, I'm just checking my Yahoo fantasy because I'm really not trying to lose. But I'm scared of Wesley Kessler, man. That guy is scary, man. I absolutely hate him. But yeah, I've done my lineup and I just cross my fingers and I pray to God that I get the job done. I even drafted Zion Williams in this one. I'm never drafting him again. Never. But let me get back to this. So yeah, like this is what pisses me off about Larry's team is that his team is meant to be good, and I feel like he does it, and it's like he knows he knows it too, which is why it's like what I'm saying. He's probably gonna listen to it and be like, he's right, and I know I do that. You know what I'm trying to say? Um, Daniel surprisingly beating up Charlie, right? And I wanna highlight this matchup because I don't know if it's because John Moran is out, which is what I don't get because it's like Kyrie Irving faced almost a month out because he made a tweet. He didn't he didn't have a gun in his pocket. He wasn't flashing guns. He wasn't threatening 14-year-olds and toddlers and babies. Right? He made a simple tweet that was deemed very, 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 very harmful and dangerous to society, and we must cancel him and we must he lost Nike, he lost everything. If John Moran flashes a gun to a kid out in the public. He flashes a gun in his IG. He doesn't lose Nike. All he gets is 2 game suspension, and then the team is doing some therapy with him. And it just shows you how much society is just down the drain. They will rather have a black man promote his gun, and they don't care about a black man promoting gun and trying to live that gangster life because he never lived it, and trying to act like he's hard with his tattoos, shirtless with his fake chains that don't mean nothing, right? Versus a man that actually takes pride in education, takes pride in studying the word, takes pride in studying the philosophy of the world, right? And takes pride in asking questions in order to help people come to the truth or just express what he believes. They will rather kill that black man, but then they will still praise and hype up the black man as showing the young kids a gun. It just shows you how the media and how society have changed the construct of a black man, and it just shows you their agenda, but you guys are still sleeping. It shows you the agenda. Kyrie Irving talks about Jewish people and da 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 da. He loses everything almost, and they're trying to cancel him out the NBA. Kyrie Irving talks about COVID. He's too harmful to society. John Morant can be out here like literally showing a kid a gun. What if that gun accidentally like pops off or something? What if he's flashing that gun in his party and the gun pops off and he shoots someone? Right? So who's more harmful to society? Someone that is pushing out education, whether it's the truth or not the truth, or someone that is pushing out pure ignorance and stupidity into the world, that life path could find you in a position where you can be locked up for life, or you can end up ruining someone else's life by killing someone or etc etc. I would rather have my kid be obsessed with Kyrie Irving, right? And learn about weird things, right? That society thinks is weird. Like, I would rather have my kids like, yo, dad, Kyrie Irving said the earth is flat. So I went on Google and I started searching up the hemispheres of the world. I started searching up all the planets. Then my kid going like, "Hey dad, my son, John Morant just flashed a gun, so I just started looking up on gangs and I found out about the Bloods and the Crips. So now but that's what they want like black society to be like though. They want us to be over here. They don't want that. But I rest my case, man. But yo, Charlie, I'm just gonna tell you this right here. I'm here for you. Anything you need, I got. Anything you need, I got. So anytime you wanna send that trade offer, I'm here. I'm here, baby. I'm here. Don't worry. I'm here through it all. From the beginning to the end, it's me and you. Don't get it twisted. But what Daniel's doing to Charlie, what Daniel's doing to Charlie. Bro, man woke up this morning and said, "Yo, who we picking up on the waiver wire today?" Yeah, I love when Daniel's on demon time, man. I love it. I love it. I love it. Um, yeah. So next week's matchups, yeah, I put myself in a bad position with what I did against Malik, because now, yeah, my record is 9-8-2. Malik beats me, he's 9-10. I'll be 9-9, right? Frankie beats whichever one of these guys. If Frankie wins, um, I think he goes above me, and I drop down and I play Chris, something like that, right? So it's like I put myself in a bad position. Let's just it's just that simple. I put myself in a bad position where I may not make playoffs now, right? And Mariano plays against Glory in the last round, so essentially that should be a certified win for Mariano. But the thing is that he doesn't have KD and he doesn't have Karl Anthony Towns, and his best players are Brunson, Rozier, Hayward, and Westbrook, right? And I don't know, like you guys let me know, but I feel like if Glory does his team or does some, I don't know, I feel like it could be a tight matchup. That's just my opinion. It could be a tight matchup. Mariano should win just by him using acquisitions and etc. etc. So I have Mariano winning this last matchup. Me against Charlie is tight. So Charlie could actually kick me out of the playoffs, to be honest. But then if Malik loses to Larry, then it don't matter. Like it don't matter. It doesn't matter if I lose the last two. If Malik loses to Larry, it doesn't matter if I lose or win, right? But the way Larry's acting, I don't even know if he's still even in fantasy or not, right? And then Frankie's obviously gonna win this, so that's why I'm saying that I'm clenching my teeth. Hopefully, I can try and get a tie against Malik, but a tie means nothing. But just not a loss, because right now I can basically go from here all the way to 8 seed. I don't care about playing Chris first. Like, I really don't care. I know I can beat Chris in the first round. Like, I'm actually 100% confident I can beat him in the first round. And I actually don't care who I play in the first round. I just want to be inside the playoffs. I feel like once I'm inside the playoffs, I feel like I got it. You know what I'm trying to say? But I know that getting a fifth seed back from Daniel, I do not think it's a, I don't think it's achievable. I don't think I can achieve it anymore. But I feel like right now, um, this matchup right here is very important because these guys are on the 1 and 2 seed, right? So the reason why it's important is that David and Chris both shouldn't have the mindset of I should lose, because if they are both in the final and it's a draw, whoever wins this matchup wins the money. You know what I'm trying to say? So if one of them is like, yo, I wanna lose because I wanna stay the second seed, that's the dumbest thing you could do, right? Because if you draw in the finals, you lose just because you didn't try and win right now. You know what I'm trying to say? But if we go to player rater, right? We're talking about players that you wouldn't pick, right? So right now, here's the top 10. Like I said, I would always pick Trey Young. I feel like Trey Young, what he does for my team, I feel like I can't ask for more, right? Trey Young is ranked top 10 in ESPN player radar. And I'm trying to say, um, this is just for like I think past 2 weeks a week, right? And I just feel like as a player, he plays really, really consistently. And but there's certain players I won't draft again. I feel like I didn't want Luka Doncic. I fell right in back into Luka Doncic, and I don't know, man. He making me upset. He making me upset. But I'm trying to get rid of him. His MRI came out like I think negative, so he's not actually injured seriously. But still, like I feel like I learned a lot this fantasy about who to pick and who not to pick. Right. Um, there was a little bit of we did have a veto, right? And the thing is that the reason why we made the Constitution is so that people can use English comprehension skills, right? In the sense that, like, if someone makes a trade and you don't like it, you do know that you can actually like be like, hey guys, I want to do a veto and I want to try and veto this trade, and basically explain your reasons why you want to veto it. And if you can convince as much people as you need to get a majority vote, the thing will get vetoed. All you need is a majority, right? So if someone is arguing with you and trying to basically tell you that you just want to veto it because you don't like me and you don't want to see me win, that's an okay reason to veto their trade. I just want you to know that. It's literally an okay reason to veto. As long as you can convince the majority that you don't want this guy to prosper, so let's veto it, do it. Like, literally do it. Because at the end of the day, like, everyone's trying to get this money. You know what I'm saying? Everyone's trying to get this money, and the pot is literally 2,400. You know what I'm trying to say? It's 2,400. And I don't care what anyone says, that's a lot of bread. That's a lot of bread. If you win, it's 2.2, right? Because you minus your own 200. But that's a lot of peas. So that's why for me, it's kind of just like, if you're in this fantasy and it's like, you're not making much trades, you're not doing much, it's kind of confusing because it's like, why wouldn't you want $2,400? Like, all you have to do, it literally takes 15 minutes. Put your lineup on. Check players that are playing good. Oh, drop an ad. It literally takes 15 minutes, right? And you have 2,400. So if you have a girlfriend, you guys want to go on a trip, bang, that's your money. Right there, bang. If you want to buy something for yourself, bang, use that money. If you want to invest in something, bang, use that money. Like, when people talk about side hustles that pay dividends, playing fantasy sports is a legit side hustle. It's a legit side hustle. I don't care what anyone tells me. When anyone talks about passive income, they talk about stocks, they talk about dividends, they talk about ETFs. Fantasy is one. If you can get into as much fantasies as you can, right? And literally, like, basically, let's say you're in 5 fantasies, you win 2, right? You are still at a positive because what you win is going to be greater than what you lost. If you're in 5 fantasies, you win 1 and you lose the 4. Let's say you win 1, you come second, and you come third. You still are at a positive. So getting in as much fantasies as you can is a legit way, and literally is legit, and is a great passive income idea. Literally a great passive income idea. Because for about 21 weeks, right, all you have to do is study basketball lineups, study numbers, follow one YouTube channel or one guy on TikTok that will give you weekly, daily player ads, all of that, and literally follow it. And that's how simple it is. Who to draft, follow it. And right there, you're doing passive income. So basically, from October all the way to April, let's say you join about 2 or 3 fantasies, you can make as much as, depending on the pot, let's say each one of them is 200, 200, and they have 1 to 3 wins in and wins out, right? You can make close to 10K just by putting 200 in and being in like 12 people, 10 people fantasies. You can make as much as like within 4.5 to 6K, just like that. And all you're doing is this. But we don't want to think like that. We don't want to think like that, right? So it's like, I don't really know, bro. Like, at the end of the day, I don't really know, but I don't really care. But that's what I'm just like. That's why in my head I'm just like, yo, if anyone wants to add me into a fantasy, add me. Because for me, I understand that I can actually make money from this. Like, for example, in our Yahoo, like, it's so simple. If you go in it with your friends, all you guys have to do is be like, yo, let's help each other get the top 3 spots. Let's help each other draft. Yo, I'm trying to draft this person. What do you think? Nah, draft that person. He's better for your team. Right there, you're at greater odds of winning the money because you have 2 other minds helping you to achieve something greater. Right? And that's all I'm trying to say. So last year I lost in ESPN, but I won in Yahoo. So that means I didn't lose money last year. I gained money last year. I gained money. But because I don't really talk about the Yahoo one over here, it's like, and in Yahoo it's me, Chris, and David, and we're all in playoffs. And our mindset is that, yo, let's help each other. And we literally drafted together. Like we literally helped each other draft. I'm first seed. I think David is fourth seed, and I think Chris is fifth or sixth seed. And all we're trying to do is trying to get first three spots. Is that cheating? No, it's not. It's not cheating. It's called using the people around you to become good. But nowadays, it's all about, yo, I'm trying to go on my individual journey, and I'm trying to, like, read every day. All you guys are just stupid nonsense, man. But what am I even doing here? I've already done that, yo. Let's look at this, yeah. At the end of the day, it's like this, yeah. My team has just been in shambles, man, and honestly, the way I drafted has literally stroked me right in the buttocks. I'm never drafted like that again. Even Daniel's team has been great, great. Um, I left the abbreviations upstairs. This team is doing great. Malik's team is doing good, right? It's like, ah, away in the manger, no Jesus, the little. Oh my gosh! Like I might not make playoffs, and it's not stressing me out, but it's pissing me off. But I don't know, man. I don't know. I think this year has been a very, very good year in fantasy for everyone. I think it's been really fun. I think that it has. I think it's been a very, very edgy year because I feel like they're pumping estrogen inside the world. So everyone just has more femininity in them. You know what I'm trying to say? Like it's just standard. You know what I'm trying to say? So it's like the femininity is increased in men. So it's kind of just like you kind of see it where it's like at the end of the day, like it's not like I don't care about people's feelings, but it's like, well, man, I'm trying to say like if I hurt your feelings as a man, go to your woman and let her hug you. I don't like you know what I'm trying to say. Like obviously, as men, mature men will just be like let bygones be bygones. But at the end of the day, like women are the one that always seek to find the insults and stuff. If I want to insult you, I will insult you. If I'm not trying to insult you, don't try and read to get an insult. You get what I'm trying to say? But my strategy of all point guards and no centers is wrong. So to anyone that tries to draft like that, I'm gonna tell you right now, maybe try and draft different types of point guards in a sense where it's like try and draft like a Drew Holiday, a Halliburton, guys that do defensive numbers. Even Kyrie Irving, he does nice steals, nice blocks. Try and focus on the defensive side more than the offensive side if you're trying to do that build. But that build is wrong, which is why I had to make so much trades this year. If you're trying to do Daniel's build, don't do it. It didn't work as well. Larry's initial build did not work as well. Daniel O's build, we don't know where it was, but it just didn't work. David's build, you can do it. David 666, God forbid, I rebuke that. David's build, in the beginning, I can't lie, his team wasn't great. But David's strategy is basically, is literally the Roman Empire's strategy. Any weak kingdom you find, destroy it and take away anything that's good. And his strategy worked. Like, it actually worked. That's why it's like, David pisses me off in fantasy, right? But he's actually good in fantasy, right? So it's like I have the respect of him, but I'm just like, David, you know what you're doing, and it's like stop trying to convince me of otherwise, because I know what you're doing. You get me? But I respect David in fantasy because you kind of need someone like David in fantasy because you just need that guy that just you know what I'm saying? It's like you need a David. You need at least one David in every single fantasy. You know what I'm trying to say? Mariano's strategy, I don't know where it was, but don't draft it because his two best players are out for the season. One was out a long time ago. The other one is out right now, right? And he's not top three. He's not top three, so don't draft it. Now, so I say, Germany, Prince, whatever the strategy was, is, or is to be, don't try and do it. It's that simple. JBL, honestly, Frankie's strategy, I think Frankie's interesting because he only has one blue. I think it's the first time he's doing it, right? But for me personally, like, if I'm being seriously honest, I still wouldn't draft his strategy because I believe that not like you have to constantly like improve. You have to constantly improve, and his team, no one has ever seen the full potential of his team. But the thing is, you don't want to play against Frankie in the playoffs because that's when his full potential might just burst out, right? So would I draft his team? No. Why? Because it's not even in the top three and it's not close, right? And if he made I think if he made like two or three trades, his team would be better. I believe this is actually Charlie. Yeah, it actually is Charlie. I would draft Charlie's team. I would. I think Charlie drafted a good team. What I would not do if I was Charlie, I wouldn't draft Jimmy and I wouldn't draft Zion. But I would draft AD. Because even though AD is going to get injured, he's played more than Zion and I believe he's played more than Jimmy. And AD is really good. So would I draft Charlie's team? Yes, I would. Would I draft Malik's team? Nope. Would I draft it tomorrow? Nope. In the future? Nope. In 5 years? Hell no. It's just his team, like, my thing with Malik is that like he's about it. You know what I'm trying to say? In a sense where it's like he's about it. It's where it's like he can be like, yo, I was wrong. And then he'll be like, yeah, you were right. He'll be like, yo, I was right about that. You know what I'm trying to say? Oh, we were both. And that's what I love. I love when you can actually have a conversation with someone and it's like, yo, I agree on that, I disagree on this. And it's just that. You know what I'm trying to say? And that's why like I've gained a lot of respect for Malik because I feel like with Malik it's like even if we're at odds, you know what I'm trying to say, because we have had our spats here and there. It's like the fact that you can actually have a conversation with him, right? And he'll be like, I just like it. I genuinely like it because it's like he's the type of guy you can have a conversation about anything about. But I digress from that. His team just don't draft it, right? Don't draft it. Do not draft it, right? And his trades, man. His trades at the beginning, his trades were bad. In my opinion, they were bad. But as he progressed, you could see the difference between his trades in the beginning to the end. Like completely different. It's just his. I don't know who. I think this is Chris's team. I'll draft Chris's team. Chris had the best draft. Let's just put it as that. I'll draft Chris's team. Cornelius' team. Would you draft Cornelius' team respectfully? No, because I believe he drafted great with the Tatum and the Brown, but the surrounding pieces just did not surround well. Like the Gobert failed him, Wendell Carter failed him, and then it's just like trades needed to be happened, and it just didn't happen. And that's just the honest, right? So it's like the core pieces were great. Tatum and Brown are great core pieces, but the surrounding pieces around that just didn't do it, which is why I wouldn't draft that team. You know what I mean? So for the power rankings, you know what I'm trying to say, there's just no surprise right here. I believe I'm gonna drop down to maybe 8. I'll be 8 seed. But at the end of the day, like these three right here, man, like from week 1, we were just all chasing them, and I don't think we catch them. That's just my opinion. I feel like we didn't. Oh dang, Larry's in the top 3. I don't know why Larry's in the top 3. I think Chris is trolling, but I'm just gonna pretend like Charlie's the top 3, right? Because even though Charlie's team's not on form right now, it's still better than Larry's team. But I just feel like Charlie, Chris, and Larry, Charlie, Chris, and David I feel like we were all chasing them from week one. Um, David made really good trade, even though he like even if it wasn't a fair trade, like it was really good because he won significantly. Chris made the moves he had to make, and each move made him better. And then Charlie, I believe, in my opinion, some of the team moves he made his team weaker, but his team, it showed how strong his team really was because his team still was the top three. You know what I'm trying to say? And I believe me, Daniel, and Larry, even Malik as well, I'll put him in the conversation, tried to make like trades to get to that level, but we just couldn't because I'm gonna blame these guys. They weren't active enough. Like Malik, I'll say Mariano, Frankie, Glory, Daniel, or Cornelius. I just still feel like they didn't make enough moves for anyone to even try and break into that top three. That's just my honest opinion. Like I don't care if you had a good draft. I don't care if you made playoffs. I don't care if my record is close to your record. The point is for everyone's team to be the best team. So if you're comparing your team to my team when my team is not the best team, that's all I have to say. And I'm not gonna touch on that again. But winding on to the end, next week is the last week, and I feel like next week's gonna be hot. And let's see what happens, man. Let's see who makes this playoffs. And quick reminder: if you don't pay your money by the trade deadline, which is Sunday night by 11:59 p.m., even if you're on playoffs, I'm gonna try and get you out of playoffs. See if the manager tools help me to, and put the next seed in for you, or the person you play against is just gonna get a bye if you don't pay up your money. So everyone, you have like 2 weeks to bring up that $200. Hopefully, you don't have to chase anyone around. But I hope everyone has a beautiful week. It's getting tight, but let's stay composed. But it's King Colin Walker. You know how we do, baby. Hey.